Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about top 15 most greatest man-made wonders around the world. But before we get into today's video, to those who are new to this channel, please feel free to click on the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you would be notified about the latest updates. So without any delay, let's get right into the video. The most beautiful tomb ever created, India's Taj Mahal looks delicate and refined, decorated with floral and geometric patterns, jewels, calligraphy, and a lace-like design in white marble that reflects the changing colors of the sun in front of a shimmering reflecting pool. Commissioned in 1632 by the Emperor Shah Jahan for his wife Mumtaz Mahal, who had died after giving birth to their 14th child, the mausoleum took 20 years to build. The complex also includes a gateway, mosque, guest house, gardens, and 4 minarets. Inside the Taj Mahal, the decorations are just as elaborate around the cenotaph, or false tomb, of Mumtaz Mahal, while her actual remains are buried below, at ground level. Paris has an abundance of beautiful sights such as Notre Dame, the Louvre, the Arc de Triomphe, and many more. But the Eiffel Tower stands as the iconic landmark of France's capital, although it's only been part of the city for 131 years. Designed by Gustave Eiffel and built in just over 2 years, which was considered record speed at the time, the 300-meter-tall Iron Tower was created for the 1889 World's Fair. Before coming together at the high pinnacle, the uprights appear to burst out of the ground, and in a way to be shaped by the action of the wind. Eiffel explained of his simple yet elegant design. It's not just a stunningly beautiful setting in a mountain forest 8,000 feet above sea level, but the heart of the Inca Empire at its peak. Giant walls, terraces and ramps appear as if naturally carved in the rock escarpments, blending with the natural environment. Machu Picchu was built in the 15th century, then abandoned when the Inca were conquered by the Spaniards in the 16th century. Cluny Abbey is a former Benedictine monastery in France, founded in 910. While it started out as a simple structure, its history is what stands behind its wonder factor. The abbey had huge religious, political and artistic influence across Europe for centuries, and was the largest church in the world until St. Peter's Basilica was built in the 17th century. The only one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world left standing, the 3 ancient Egyptian pyramids outside of Cairo house the tombs of 3 pharaohs who are Khufu, his son Khafra, and his son Menkaure. Khufu's is called the Great Pyramid because it's the biggest, originally reaching 481 feet high. The 3 amazing structures were built over 70 years from about 2575 to 2465 BC. It's not completely known how the stone blocks from nearby quarries were lifted into the pyramid shapes, although experts believe they were built by tens of thousands of farmers in the off-season, not slaves. However they were constructed, the work was solid, literally, leaving the impressive pyramid still standing today to astound people just as they did thousands of years ago. One of the most famous bridges in the world, San Francisco's Golden Gate Bridge, is also perhaps the most breathtaking, spanning the Golden Gate Strait, which links the San Francisco Bay to the Pacific Ocean. In addition to the striking towers and graceful cables of the suspension bridge, its most recognizable aspect is the unique color, called International Orange, painted on the steel structure. But the color wasn't an easy sell back in 1933. when the bridge began construction. The Golden Gate Bridge is one of the greatest monuments of all time, consulting architect Irving Morrow wrote to convince the bridge's board of directors. Its unprecedented size and scale, along with its grace of form and independence of conception, all call for unique and unconventional treatment from every point of view. What has been thus played up in form should not be let down in color. Even if you've never been to the opera, you probably recognize the soaring arches of this building over Sydney Harbour, Australia. It stands by itself as one of the indisputable masterpieces of human creativity, not only in the 20th century but in the history of humankind, reads a report to UNESCO World Heritage, of which the building is now a member. Designed in the late 1950s and opened in 1973, the vaulted shells of the Opera House seem to burst out of its harborside setting, at once totally modern but also evoking emotion, which is a dramatic setting to match the drama of the performing arts it houses. Rolling over the landscape of China, this marvel of architecture blends into the countryside it was built to protect. The Great Wall is not actually one wall, but many branches over thousands of kilometers. Built over 2 millennia from the 3rd century BCE to the 17th century CE, the military defense system's length was likely around 20,920 kilometers. While much less of it remains today, it's still the longest wall in the world, currently with 3,460 meters of its main line and about the same number of branches and spurs, according to Guinness World Records. Every ancient site in Rome is outstandingly beautiful, from the Roman Forum to Palatine Hill to the Pantheon Temple, to the chariot racetrack Circus Maximus, and all reminders of a thriving and vibrant city that existed long ago. But one site represents all the glory that was ancient Rome, which is the Colosseum, a massive stone amphitheater originally covered in marble and travertine. It was built for the same reasons as the stadiums of today, for sport and entertainment. Holding more than 50,000 spectators, this huge structure took 8 years to build, from 72 to 80 CE, though it got a few updates later. As in the movie Gladiator, the entertainment did tend to be on the gory side, with actual gladiators fighting to the death. The arena also held executions and was even flooded for mock naval battles. The ancient rose city of Petra, Jordan, emerges from the reddish-pink sandstone of Jordan's canyons, and it was an important location on the Middle Eastern trade routes 2,000 years ago. Gradually abandoned after an earthquake, the ruins are now a haunting reminder of that desert kingdom. One of the most incredible structures at Petra is the treasury, located at the bottom of a gorge, an oddly elegant sight in the natural terrain. Its gorgeous facade became even more famous when it appeared in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. The monastery is another awesome sight, a building carved right out of the rock from which it's made. Another mysterious structure aligned with the solstices, the stone circle of Stonehenge in Wiltshire, England, is bewitchingly alluring. It seems to serve no practical purpose, so it's assumed to have been made for spiritual reasons. Built 4,500 years ago in the Neolithic Age, no one knows exactly how it was constructed, as the stones are up to 30 tons. But its measurements are so precise, it's clear that the engineers and builders knew what they were doing, and they accomplished it with only rudimentary tools. That it's still standing today makes it even more awe-inspiring. The most astounding pre-Hispanic structure of Mesoamerica stands in Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula is the huge stepped pyramid called the Castle or Temple of Kukulkan in the ancient ruins of Chichen Itza. The city was established by the Mayans and then taken over by another group called the Toltecs, at which time the most impressive structures at Chichen Itza were built around 900 AD. Named for the Mayan god Kukulkan, a feathered serpent, the central structure is nearly 100 feet tall and has 91 steps on each of its 4 sides. The beauty in its design involves the builder's precise knowledge of math and astronomy. The temple is aligned with the sun, so on the spring and fall equinoxes, the shadow of a serpent seems to crawl down the pyramid. On Mount Ma, the first center of Buddhism in China, sits this remarkable 232-foot tall Buddha, carved out of the red sandstone rock in the 8th century. Located in the Mount Ma scenic area of protected natural beauty, the Buddha is the largest ancient Buddha in the world, which is also partially covered by green vegetation, making it look like he's wearing the forest. Meticulously crafted, his serene face looks out at the meeting of 3 rivers. In addition, his hair features more than 1,000 buns, and his long ears are made of wood covered in mud to adhere to the rest of the stone head. Unseen is the sophisticated drainage system that has prevented the Buddha from deteriorating due to rain. This tragically beautiful monument in Lucerne, Switzerland, remembers Swiss soldiers who lost their lives in the French Revolution. Carved into a sandstone rock face, a dying lion with a spear in its side perishes in front of our eyes, like the brave men it represents, above a serene pool of water. Created in 1821, the sculpture is 20 feet high and 33 feet across, with the Latin inscription Helvetiorum Fidei AC Virtudi, to the loyalty and bravery of the Swiss. It left such an impression on Mark Twain that he called it the most mournful and moving piece of stone in the world, and so it remains today. These giant heads are also completely unique, with no equal anywhere on Earth. Nearly 1,000 of the statues stand sentinel across Easter Island, also called Rapa Nui, in the Pacific Ocean, reflecting a solemn beauty with their long, wide noses, strong chins, and mouths set in a seemingly determined position. Called moai, the sculptures were made by Polynesians between 1400 and 1650 using volcanic rock from a local quarry. But at an average of around 15 feet tall and more than 90 tons, it's not quite known how the megaliths were moved around the island. And while we think of them as heads, there is evidence that they have bodies below ground, as some archaeologists have discovered. Mysterious and magnificent, the simple yet sublime design of the moai is captivating. Okay guys, that is all for today's video. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell to receive the latest update from my channel. See you soon in another interesting video. Bye.